Welcome to this week's episode of the Punk Popcast, where we're going to be talking about songs that should have been covered. Welcome to this week's episode of the Punk Popcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Brad, and as always, I'm joined by our guy Jason. Welcome, Jason. How are you today?
It was a busy day, but it was a good one. How are you?
Good. I had a busy day too. It's good to finally have a chance to relax somewhat tonight. But anyway, so this week we decided we wanted to talk about. We love pop punk covers, right? Both of us, we love them. They're one of my favorite parts of the genre. It's absolutely outstanding. So we've talked about some of our favorite covers, but Jason came up with a great idea: songs that we think should be covered. Now, I'm sure somewhere out there in the ether there is a cover for these songs by a pop punk band, but I think that our qualifications, you have to be able to find it on Spotify or Apple Music, right? Like, I think that's where that comes in.
Yeah.
For it to qualify. Got to be on the platforms for it to be good. So Jason's going to lead us off this week with his first cover. Jason, take it away.
Okay, so two things real quick before I get started. One,
Okay.
I really think this is just an excuse for us to talk about songs we like that don't fit the genre.
Yeah, it usually is.
And two, I have a theory, and I told you about this theory, that I feel like a lot of hair metal translates really well to pop punk covers.
Yes,
as
it does.
Done by Newfound Glory with their cover of Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start off with another hair metal ballad, and it's going to be Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi, and I think this would be a great Mayday Parade cover.
I think Mayday Parade could probably just release a Bon Jovi cover album. Honestly, I do. And they would all be better. Because
I sense some Bon Jovi dislike here.
I don't love Bon Jovi, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the movie New Year's Eve didn't help it at all. Might have actually made it worse, but yeah.
I think it's an East Coast thing. Like a lot of people outside of the East Coast don't like Bruce Springsteen either.
Yeah, I can't. It doesn't do it for me.
See, I think it's an East Coast thing. This song has enough pomp that I think it would fit Mayday Parade really well as a cover, because it has the piano in it. It has the solo's not a super complicated solo, which kind of fits how they play.
Mm-hmm. Fits most of the genre, to be honest.
And the chorus would translate very well to a Mayday Parade chorus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think he has a better voice than Bon Jovi does as well. That's one of the reasons I think it would be better. That's just my 2 cents anyway.
Well, and I think it's got to be better than the cover that Hinder did of it. So,
yeah, I don't have to hear it to know that.
Well, you don't need to. But.
Well, that's one of those conversations that, I was looking for songs that needed covers, and I'm a big Eminem fan, so I was looking for Eminem songs, and I found a Saliva cover of Lose Yourself, and it was good. And I think we kind of made a consensus decision that, like, Nickelback, speaking of the genre, is like a good cover of a beloved song away from coming back, like Disturbed did, right? I mean, is that something we can agree on? Almost.
I think Disturbed always had a little bit more credibility because they weren't like they're all in that same kind of, like, I think it's called butt rock genre, as I've seen.
I don't know if I call them butt rock, but they're like the hard alternative kind of thing.
Yeah, but
like it was like their own little niche, right? It was like a really small group of bands, like them, POD, Saliva, Nickelback, Hinder. It was like all those bands in like this small little group, and there's like maybe 10 of them total.
I just feel like Nickelback more than anyone plays to the Affliction shirt wearing, Bud Light drinking 40-year-old guy with frosted tips and gray hairs, with his high school sweetheart who, like, they secretly hate each other, but they're staying together for the kids. Like Disturbed kind of has
somebody I know.
I described my whole area, dude. But anyway, anyway, I think Bed of Roses would be really a really perfect song for Mayday Parade to cover based on the lyrics and the music.
Yeah, I agree.
Had it tied around there at the end.
Yeah. Good job. Appreciate
Thanks.
that. I know I kind of took us off there on the unbeaten path, but whatever. Anyway, that's a good choice. I would like to hear Mayday Parade cover Bon Jovi because, like I said, I would probably enjoy it. Because this is the thing is like he does have catchy songs. I don't like his voice. That's what it is. You know,
It's
like
very Jersey.
Yeah, we used to play like Rock Band, and my buddy would was it Dead or Alive was on there. My buddy made me enjoy it because the way he played it on the drums, and then the way he sang it. He couldn't sing, but I was like, I think I like your voice better, honestly. It's like, so anyway. All right, my first song. Let's go. Okay, I don't have a band to cover this song. I just chose a couple of 80s songs that I really like, plus a little bit more modern one. This is Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, of course. Now, I feel like putting this song in the pop punk genre would be absolutely outstanding. You can obviously never replace the original. The original Guns N' Roses version of the song rocks so hard that I can see many bands being like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But my first thought was Escape the Fate. I know they're not necessarily pop punk, but their guitar player can shred. And that's the one band I think of off the top of my head where the lead singer has that kind of range.
Axl does have, for as bad as it is now, Axl then had a great voice.
Yes. Yeah, he did that. Definitely not now, but back then. So what I'm open to suggestions here, Jason. Who do you think would be a good band to cover that song?
Oh man. I like the idea of Escape the Fate. I mean, it can't be any worse than Richard Cheese doing it. So
I listened to that the other day. It's like, oh no.
In all seriousness, I think Escape the Fate would probably be the closest band to the genre that would be able to pull off a Guns N' Roses cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the only band I can think of, like I said, off the top of my head, where they have a guitar player who can go toe to toe with Slash, and
their drummer looked like Slash for a while.
That's true, he did, yeah. And to say toe to toe, I mean like relatively speaking, because I don't know if anybody can, unless you play Guitar Hero 3, then you can because you did. So, but. No, that's a song I would love to hear covered. I don't know if anybody could do it justice. That might be why it's never been done, but I think it would be absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of anyone outside of Escape the Fate in the genre who could do it. And it would have to be a band that flirts more on the heavier end then.
Mm-hmm. Well, and part of it is like I thought like maybe Silverstein, maybe A Day to Remember, but I was like, no, not necessarily, because they don't have the voice. Like the voices wouldn't fit. As much as I love those bands, the voice just wouldn't fit with it, right? Because you've got to have a little bit. You've got to have a higher range for it to sound better.
Oh, those guys are deeper. I could be put up on the cross for this. What about Sum 41? Musically,
I'll tell you this is I feel like they're a band who is way more talented than they put on.
I'm not a big Sum 41 guy, but I agree with that. I think there's a lot of talent in that band. They just I hate saying they're lazy, but they're lazy.
Well, I think they're playing to an audience. That's what they're doing. I think they know what they're doing. But we'll talk Sum 41 another day.
Ooh. Okay. Not a band we've ever talked about on here. What about My Chemical Romance?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that's the band. But now you say that, maybe the Used.
Yeah.
I could go for a Used cover. Either of those, and maybe even together, because I know they like to collaborate. But yeah, I think either of them would actually do a better job than Escape the Fate. Honestly, I think you nailed it right there, Jason.
All right.
Very good. All right, go ahead with one more of your songs, and then we'll take a break.
Okay, and I'm going into a totally different genre. I'm going with a new wave song, and it's Space Age Love Song by a Flock of Seagulls, and I think this would translate really well to a Newfound Glory song.
Okay, real quick, I have to tell you this. I listened to this song and I was like, yes, absolutely 1000%. because Newfound Glory did a cover for Promise.
Yes, they did.
And they sound very similar to me. After I listened to this song, I was walking around the rest of the night singing Promise.
And you got to think there's 6 years separating those two songs.
Yeah. Well, because when I was going through the intro, I was like, is this song on Napoleon Dynamite? Like, I can't place it. And I was like, I know why I'm thinking, because it sounds so. You're spot on though with Newfound Glory. This is absolutely a Newfound Glory song.
Yeah. It's in Spider-Man Homecoming, so you might be thinking of it from there.
Maybe. I haven't watched Napoleon Dynamite since I've watched Spider-Man Homecoming, though. So it's been a while since I've seen that movie, despite my personal connections to the location. Because, real quick sidebar, the restaurant that Uncle Rico and Kip go to eat at?
Vaguely, because I've only seen the movie once.
Okay, so they go to this burger joint. It's actually down the street from where my sister lives. They've since remodeled and done all that stuff. But the summer that movie came out, my buddy and I went with her to eat there. And then we saw the movie like 3 months later. We're in the theater like shaking each other like, dude, we ate there. We ate there like 2-3 months ago. Like we've been there. It was a really exciting moment for us in the movie theater.
That's like me with Major League 2 when they're in spring training in Arizona and it's actually Harrisburg in winter.
And looks nothing like Arizona.
Like those metal bleachers, I sat in those.
Nice. But yeah, it was a big moment for us. And I think that Newfound Glory covering Space Age Love Song is money in the bank. It needs to be on their next cover album.
They need to do it.
100%. All right, let's take a quick break. When we get back, we have 3 more songs total that we're going to get into.
9+ Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. Weekly episodes for the entire baseball family where we talk all baseball all the time. Available on all your favorite podcast apps and on YouTube. Come join our baseball family where we do baseball together.
The Not Another Sports Podcast is the home of sports talk for everyone. Every other week you can catch David and Jason as they talk about all things sports, from current events to classic moments and everything in between. You can find the Not Another Sports Podcast on Anchor.fm, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, and more. Please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review.
Welcome back to the Punk Popcast. Today we're talking about songs we would like to hear covered by pop punk bands. Jason has given 2 of his choices. He had Bed of Roses by Bon Jovi, as well as Space Age Love Song by a Flock of Seagulls. I gave Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. Now, I have 2 more songs. I'm going to go with my next one. I'm going to save the best for last. This is one of my favorite songs ever. So let's go with my next track. This is hip hop, going way out of genre here with actually I'm going to say straight up rap. Get Buckin' Here by DJ Felly Fell featuring Diddy, Akon, Ludacris, and Lil Jon. And I want Breathe Carolina to cover this because they do a lot of really good covers. Have you heard their covers before, Jason?
I have heard some of their covers, yeah.
So I think they do a great job with the hip hop rap genre. I don't know what it is about the dude's voice or the way that they can actually play the music. of rap and hip hop songs, but I think they would do an outstanding job putting together the beat, putting together the rhythm of everything, and actually rapping, especially with the pace of that Ludacris raps in this song, because it's awesome.
I think we have to acknowledge the fact that rap does translate really well to pop punk.
It does. I mean, there's the whole Punk Goes Crunk cover album.
And you know what? It needs a volume 2.
It does. And there are songs on the Punk Goes Pop, like volume 7 or 8 or something like that. There are rap songs on there that are done really, really well that I listen to on a regular basis because I love them so much. That whoever, they're usually small bands you've never heard of. Whoever they are did such an outstanding job that I prefer that over the original. So
yeah, I mean, no, I agree with you. And it was funny because you said this song, and I'm like, man, I don't know this song. I gotta listen to it. And then as soon as I put it on, I'm like, oh no, I know this song.
It's one that you might not know the name of. I couldn't remember the name of it. I had to type in lyrics into Apple Music to find it because I for the life of me couldn't remember the name. Couldn't remember DJ Felly Fell. At first I was like, I know it's not DJ Khaled, but it's somebody else. And then I was going through and I was like, yes, that's the one. And Jason, I'm gonna tell you, I told you this before, but I'm gonna tell you again. I was on a 4-hour road trip by myself and listened to this song for like 2.5 hours of those 4 hours and could sing every single lyric of the song by the time I was done. And I still wasn't sick of it by the time I finished. It's just that I think I stopped for gas. And then I was like, maybe I should change it up so it doesn't get boring. But
can I make a rap cover for you? It's on the heavier end.
Yes.
Throwdown does an amazing cover of Baby Got Back.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I actually really like Gym Class Heroes because the way that they do everything with the pop punk and the rap and everything. So I'm gonna have to check that. Let me write that down. Okay. All right. Go ahead with your next one, Jason.
Okay. I have one more left actually. And I think you will agree with me on this. My next one is Jessie's Girl by Rick Springfield, and I think Mest should cover it.
And I think you're absolutely right.
Let's talk about the fact that my friend Arlene, who is a folk singer, every year she'd get a different group of friends every year, and they would send each other mix CDs. So I'd have to send out 11 mix CDs.
Oh, nice.
Jessie's Girl was on my mix CD because I think it's an undeniable song.
It is. It's a great song. And one thing about Mest is that Tony Lovato, I feel like, respects old music and old in quotes, older music more than most. I feel bad. Like, I feel weird saying that because it's an 80s song.
Dude, I know.
But I mean, think about this for a minute though. Us talking about Jessie's Girl now would be like somebody the year we were born, like the time that we were born, talking about like
Sinatra.
Yeah, the Rat Pack. Like that's weird to me. But anyways, I feel like Tony Lovato does a great job with those 80s songs because he respects them.
Yeah, and I even said to you, like, I think there's some bands who would do it in like an ironic way, like kind of not making fun of it, but not taking the lyrics seriously because it is a pop song.
Right.
But Mest would do it and they would be totally faithful to it, even putting their own spin on it. And I think it would just be a perfect combination.
Yeah. Yes, and the ironic thing, you run into that a lot on the Punk Goes Pop albums, that like these bands are doing these covers and then they'll do something like in the middle. It's like, okay, I was like grooving until you threw it all off by doing that. Skip.
Oh, you mean the random like metalcore breakdown and growl when there's no need for one?
No, because that can fit sometimes, right? Like that can work. It's more of where they go into like their teeny bopper voice and they just say something random and insert it. That it's not even a lyric. They just insert something random into the song.
Gotcha.
It's like, it's not necessary. I see what you're doing there, but I don't enjoy it because it threw off the rhythm of the song. It doesn't fit. So it's like they had to be an obnoxious teenager. And they need to get off my lawn while they're at it. So
there we go. There we go.
Old man yells at clouds.
One of my favorite Simpsons memes.
All right. So my last one, this is one of my favorite songs ever. I was very excited when this showed up on Lego Movie 2, the second part. This is Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. So I am relatively new into Motley Crue within, I'd say, the last 5 years.
Oh, I have book recommendations for you now.
I know you do. And I think you bought one today, and I might end up reading it. But anyway, no. So I had friends growing up who liked Motley Crue. We just didn't have any accessible in my house. And by the time I get home to Kazaa, I would be like, "What was the name of that band?" I don't know, and I just never did. But this is a song that I've loved before I knew that it was Motley Crue. When I found out, I was like, okay, I got to listen to the rest because this song kicks ass. It's so good. And here's the other thing, Jason. I've been listening to Halifax. That's who I think should cover this song. Is Halifax. I've been listening to them for probably 15 years now, and they have a song, Our Revolution, that I love. It's my favorite song by them, and I was always listening and being like, this sounds like somebody, but I can't place it. And this is it. That song specifically, I think they ripped it off from Motley Crue because it sounds just like it. And if they were to play Kickstart My Heart, it would be amazing. They would be faithful to it, and it would just be a 2000s version of an 80s song.
Do you know how? So Motley Crue is so near and dear to my heart.
I know they are. I was hoping you would appreciate this and I didn't offend you.
No, not at all. You did not offend me. Anytime we can talk about Motley Crue is great with me. Because my 4 favorite bands are probably interchangeable as who's number 1 depending on my mood that week. And Motley Crue is one of my top 4 favorite bands. To the point that we might actually still end up going to see them with Def Leppard because they're another one of my favorite bands.
There you go.
And I've never seen Def Leppard live.
Nice.
God, they're so good. And if you ever listen to their Too Fast for Love album, their first album, it's so raw and it's like snotty punky. It's really good. High recommendation for that album. I love this. I love everything about this. We could talk Motley Crue all day.
Don't miss coming up Jason's solo project about Motley Crue.
No, I'm not that knowledgeable.
It's just Jason just going on and on about his love for Motley Crue and Nikki Sixx.
I say that, but me and Jamie, because we're both Motley Crue fans, like Motley Crue and Def Leppard are how we started talking at work. We started watching Pam and Tommy on Hulu, and we turned it off after 3 episodes because there were so many inaccuracies.
Oh, that's good to know.
We can't do that.
That's good to know because I was gonna start watching that, but
I mean, for what it was fine. It's just we're like super Motley Crue fans, and we read The Dirt, and we've read all the other books, and it's like.
So how true to the book does the movie The Dirt stick?
It's pretty close. Obviously, there's things that they had to do because it's a movie. Like how they introduced their original manager or their second manager.
I think they actually addressed that too.
They do, and it's hilarious.
The way they break the fourth wall is fantastic in that movie.
The Ozzy stuff is legit.
It's awesome. So funny.
They didn't meet up with Vince in a bar to reunite. Like they met up in a hotel room with lawyers to reunite. But that's exciting, though. That said, The Dirt is a very good music film. It's one of the better ones. Yeah. Not as great as Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's very good.
I need to put that on my list. I've been meaning to watch that one. Okay, added to the list. There we go. But let us know what you think. Were we way off base? give us some suggestions for Welcome to the Jungle. I think Jason crushed it with My Chemical Romance. I think that's the one. But if you have anybody else you think would do a better job, or on any of these other songs, it's impossible for you to get a better band for Space Age Love Song, because Jason crushed it there with Newfound Glory. But let us know otherwise. Reach out on Twitter at Punk Popcast, or you can reach me at Jojo Cornrow. That's JojoCornrow. And Jason on the Twitter machine is
at XJasonDagX.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for joining us this week, and we'll get back with you next week with more Pop Punk.